Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your man, the Grass Ninja. Welcome to the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, bro. We're gonna do the Boruto episode 290 analysis or critique or whatever. It's not really a review. I'm not gonna go break down everything that happened this episode. I'm gonna give you my thoughts and opinion on where the anime is at, and we're gonna compare it to the manga, and we're gonna compare it to the overall story. And we're just gonna critique it, you know, is it good or is it bad, right? Because I've been pretty harsh on the anime recently on the channel. It hasn't been very good in my opinion. And I'm pleased to say that in today's episode, we had an overall good episode. Boruto 209 presence, you know, Kawaki being able to mask his presence. It's super awesome. Boruto being able to sense his presence. We had an overall good episode. I really appreciate the step up in production. This time around, we got actually good animation. Like, people misunderstand good artwork and animation. So when the art is moving around and there's fluidity, there's motion, that's animation. When it's just a slow pan up of a character, that's literally just slideshow effects on a picture. Like, I'm not counting that as top tier animation. You know, if you're talking about look at how clean the art looks and the mouth flaps, that's not the animation, that's the artwork. Get it right. So recently, you know, some of the animation has just been trash. It's just been the manga colored in slideshow form for me. And that's where we were at, right? Now, we get decent animation this time around. Nothing major. There was no huge fight this episode. But the chase scene with Kawaki and Code, it was fire. I'm not gonna lie, that was amazing. Code like zipping through the trees, flipping around. The running animation with Boruto and Kawaki was really good. Granted, that did seem like reused assets, but I'm not gonna be picky. We got good animation, right? Kawaki running and jumping out of the village looked amazing. Code chasing him down through the woods was awesome. And then Boruto leaving the house and also trying to catch up with Kawaki looked super fire. Even Boruto turning around to punch Kawaki onto the ground. It was good animation this time around, and I gotta call it when I see it. Now, the art production, which I explained earlier, it's been pretty solid. It's been pretty consistent this episode. I'm really digging the nighttime atmosphere, low-key. Like, you know, the nighttime atmosphere, I like it. I think whoever's animating this or whoever's producing this, they did a really good job making it feel serious. And for some reason, I think I'm just a sucker for the nighttime aesthetic, you know? It looked really good. Now, Code was looking fire. I gotta call it when I see it. Code was cold as hell. Like, literally when he hit Kawaki with the claw mark and then he popped out of his back, the whole, like, the art with Code was really good. Not the animation, but the scene where he popped out and then they did the pan in and zoom in on his face and he was like, yo, Kawaki, what's good? And that was amazing, right? Because, like, I don't know. You saw it. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. But that was really good. I gotta call it where I see it. But, you know, I can't just say everything was amazing. There was some issues that I was having with Ida this chapter. I feel like the issues that I had was just because they hyped her up and did the artwork so good in all the other episodes. They were literally breaking the budget just to make this girl, like, just to animate her hair. Like, there's so much texture and stuff going on in her hair or whatever. So I feel like she's really hard to process for the computers and for all the work and everything that they're doing. So there's a lot of work going into Ida's design, and I don't know, the artwork's starting to look a little funky with her. You know, they hyped her up too much, so now when they make sacrifices in her art, it's just gonna look weird, you know? And something's funky going on with her right eye, the eye that doesn't light up when she uses the Senrigan. I don't know, something weird with Ida. I just wanted to call it out. It's bothering me. I don't know what it is, but I thought I'd add it in, okay? So like I said, overall a good episode. When we hop into the narrative analysis of stuff, there's a lot of things that this episode reminded me about that I feel like could still apply today in the current manga form. So if you're here as an anime only, this part of the video is just, you just don't want to hear, okay? Because I'm going to compare a lot of stuff to the manga at this point, and this is just the narrative analysis of where we're at currently. So Shikamaru and Amado's conversation that happened on the rooftop, They talked about human love and how from a certain point of view you could view that as like obsession, you know? There's a bunch of different angles you could view the human emotions from and find other words to describe them. So he was saying that humanity's like tendency for love and the way they like hold affection towards these people from a certain point of view is no different than them being obsessed with them. And Kawaki's love for Naruto was directly compared to Code's devotion towards Ishiki Otsutsuki, right? Which is funny, you know, because they're both kind of like Kawaki's father figures or whatever. I just think that's good. There's interesting parallels being made between Code and Kawaki, and I'm wondering if that's something we have to look out for in the future. Where we're at in the manga right now, we already know Code is ready to move. Like, he's created an army and stuff, and Kawaki just went AWOL. So maybe there's some room for them to align, like the enemy of my enemy is my friend type of thing. We could see Code and Kawaki work together to stop other Otsutsuki that might want to hinder Code from completing his goals, and we already know Kawaki just wants to end all of the Otsutsuki, with Code not technically being one until he eats the chakra fruit. Maybe there's room for that, I don't know, but it's interesting that they are showing these parallels between the two. Now, Boruto and Kawaki, they gain access to some passive abilities, some new abilities, instinctual traits, if you will, from the Otsutsukification that they've undergone thanks to the Karma Seal. Now, Ida describes this as instinctual, similar to how certain animals can just instinctually walk and graze from birth. So like, think of like how a deer, when they're born, it takes them like 5 minutes to figure out how to walk, and then they can be a deer. All they have to do is walk around, run, and eat grass. You know, they've done all the things a deer can do. Same thing with like gazelles and giraffes and a lot of other animals that can literally just instinctually do things that those animals are supposed to do from birth. There's no teaching them, there's no nothing. Like, if I never taught a human baby how to speak, it would just goo goo gaga for the rest of his life, you know, which is interesting to think about, you know. So certain animals carry this instinctual ability to just do what they're naturally meant to do, and the Otsutsuki are no different. So chakra suppression for Kawaki is like an instinctual ability. It just comes natural to him. So he doesn't have to train to suppress his chakra. It's just something he can passively do. Boruto is experiencing what I call Otsutsuki sense, because he's getting these weird sensations that allow him to feel Kawaki's presence whenever he's nearby, right? He was like, what is that odd sensation? So Otsutsuki sense is something where it's like proximity based, where Boruto can just sense the presence of an Otsutsuki around him, whether or not he can see them or not. Or at least that's how I'm going to rationalize this ability. It's not like entirely confirmed, but it does leave room, because when we compare it to the manga, these instinctual abilities get brought up later when Amado's saying, yeah, it's only a matter of time before Boruto and Kawaki just start flying around, because that comes instinctual to the Otsutsuki. It's just a natural thing for them. So Boruto and Kawaki are still just going to keep gaining and accessing these passive abilities that just come natural to all of the Otsutsuki, right? And I think that's interesting. We might have to look out for that more in the future of the manga. Now, I think this is also important because the anime today highlighted Ida's feelings. They can fluctuate, right? She kind of, like, the whole time she was crushing on Kawaki and stuff. But then when Boruto steps in and puts Kawaki to the ground, that same level of affection was hit for Boruto. So she sort of switched up on Kawaki during this episode. And I think that's interesting, because that leaves wiggle room, right? If Kawaki starts treating her badly and Ida decides that she doesn't like Kawaki, because right now she just has a crush on Kawaki, right? She's spying on him and she's the guy that she likes right now. But if he spends more time with her, she might not like the dude, right? She might not be the fit, or they might not be fit for each other. And I think there's room for that, right? Ida can crush on anybody right now. It's not like she's in love. Everyone's in love with her. So I want to see these boys man up. Somebody's got to take the reins and literally take one for the team. You got to get with Ida just so you can have that Senrigan as a weapon you can use. Think about how Sasuke played Karin Uzumaki. He was like, she wanted nothing to do with him. She was probably the most loyal to Orochimaru out of the bunch. She was like, no, I have to watch this prison. Orochimaru's dead. Oh, crap. And the only reason she went with Sasuke is because she was thirsty for him. Right now, Ida's thirsty for Kawaki, but I mean, if Boruto displays enough action, she could be thirsty for him. And I need either of these boys to step it up. I need them to give me some of that light Yagami energy. When this happened in the manga, I was theorizing that Kawaki or Boruto, whoever it might be at the end of the day, they're going to pull Ida and just hold her to that shoulder, being like, yeah, this is my girl, for the benefit of the leaf, you know? Eventually, Amado played matchmaker or whatever and got her to the leaf, but currently in the manga, Kawaki's gone AWOL. He's ready to like hunt down all the Otsutsuki, and they're across various dimensions and stuff. Like Toneri's on the moon. So we already saw in this episode, Ida's a great aid when it comes to tracking down and locating people. If you can communicate her, right? If she's your eyes and ears and she can tell you where to go, like how she did with Code, dude, she could literally be like, oh yeah, there's an Otsutsuki in this dimension or that dimension. Let's use space-time ninjutsu and go there, right? So she's super useful, and we get this level of cooperation with Ida and Kawaki. Hunting down the Otsutsuki is gonna look amazing, you know? So yeah, I talked about Kawaki forming his own little Team Taka or something in last upload or whatever, so go ahead, check that one out. What did you guys think about Boruto episode 290? Overall, I thought it was a good episode. I really appreciate the step up in the production when it comes to the animation. They didn't even have to give us a fight. It was just solid animation. Good movement, good good pacing. I really fuck with it. Damn, whatever. Anyway, curious to hear what you guys are thinking in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. We're about to hit 1,000, bro. Road to 1K subs. Let's go. And, yeah, I've been your man, the Grass Ninja. Peace.